Act 3, Scene 5, line 2 to 35.
Beldams, describing the looks of the witches as old and ugly. This is a consequence for their actions.
Have I not reasoned, beldams as you are, is written in iambic pentameter.
The term saucy was used as mock to praise towards the witches by Hecate, but yet she described herself as the mistress, which means she has authority over them.
To trade and traffic with Macbeth is written in alliteration. Alliteration shows the importance of a line, and this line is important because Hecate tells the witches how wrong it was for them to go behind her back.
Mistress symbolizes that Hecate is above the three witches in a position of authority. This means that she can give consequences to the three witches.
The close contriver is alliteration. Alliteration shows importance of a line, and this is important because Hecate tells the witches how powerful she is and how the consequences will be bad for the witches. Glory of our art is an oxymoron because glory is used to describe something good, happy, etc. But the witch's art is witchcraft, and that is evil and bad.
Art symbolizes Hecate's art, which is witchcraft. Hecate will use this witchcraft to give Macbeth consequences.
The phrase "show the glory of our art" has multiple meanings because it portrays their witchcraft as a good thing.
These are long, flowy sentences.
This passage is made up of 5 parts. The first part is Hecate scolding the witches for going behind her back.
Wayward sons are resistant, and this is a metaphor for Macbeth because in the beginning, Macbeth was resistant to the witches. Eventually, Macbeth succumbed to the witches, and that led to extreme consequences.
Spiteful and wrathful. This is imagery describing Macbeth as a mean and intensely angry person. This affects his decisions.
The terms spiteful and wrathful have similar meanings because they are both used as insults towards Macbeth.
Spiteful and wrathful, who as others do, is written in iambic pentameter.
The second part of this passage is Hecate explaining why Macbeth deserves consequences.
Acheron is like a Greek underworld.
The pit of Acheron is a river in Hades, and the pit that Hecate talks about may be taken as meaning some dark path or river leading to hell. Hecate is basically saying she wants to bring Macbeth to hell. Meet me in the morning is alliteration. Alliteration shows importance of a line, and this line is important because Hecate is telling the witches how consequences for Macbeth will be coming soon.
This is the climax because this is where Hecate tells the three witches of her plan to make amends.
This passage is written in rhyming couplets, which represents that Hecate is the part of nature that is going to get back at Macbeth for killing Duncan, who is seen as God. The sentences start to get longer, which means Hecate is becoming calmer, and this also ends the third part, which is Hecate making the plan to get back at Macbeth.
This night I'll spend unto a dismal and fatal end is a hyperbole, because it's an exaggerated statement. Hecate will not actually die that night.
The phrase "upon the corner of the moon" stands out because it is how Hecate will get the powers to bring Macbeth down.
There hangs a vaporous drop profound, symbolizes the poison that will make Macbeth confused as a consequence for his actions. Upon the corner of the moon. Different phases of the moon causes different spells to work, which relates to the severity of his consequence.
Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound is imagery, because these words provide many strong and abstract images in our minds. A vaporous drop profound is an oxymoron because vaporous is usually used to describe something clear and or translucent, but profound is used to describe something harsh or dark or prominent.
Fourth part of this passage is what Hecate will do to prepare herself to give Macbeth his consequences.
He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear. Hecate is talking about Macbeth's prophecies, thinking that these things will influence her decisions.
He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear is imagery, because these words provide many powerful and dark images. When Hecate talks about the consequences for Macbeth, she personifies the words fate, death, wisdom, grace, and fear. She does this by giving these inanimate objects human qualities.
The fifth part of this passage is about how Macbeth will bring himself down, and it is also written in rhyming couplets.
The phrase, "and you all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy," shows appearance versus reality because Hecate tells the witches that Macbeth will be his own worst enemy.
When Hecate talks about the consequences for Macbeth, she personifies the word security. She does this by giving security human qualities.
Hark, I am called, my little spirit see is written in iambic pentameter.
Little spirit C is alliteration. Alliteration shows importance of a line, and this line is important because Hecate is telling the witches she must leave to attend other business. Sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me, provides a dark and sad and scary mood.
And again, this passage is written in rhyming couplets.